This is an overview of what you need to know to get your South African K53 driver's license. The test is in two main parts, the yard test and the road test. But before all that, you need to make sure you know how to drive. So getting to know your vehicle. Firstly, you need to know the simple things, like how to unlock your vehicle, how to open the doors and operate the windows. Then you need to get to know your vehicle's controls. Things like the clutch, the foot brake, the accelerator, how to change gear with the gear lever, how to apply the handbrake so you don't roll back and hit things, the steering wheel, how to use the indicators, the windscreen wipers, the lights and the hooter. You'll also need to know how to adjust your mirrors, both the rear view and the side view mirrors. Now when you get in a car, you can't just get in and move off. You have to demonstrate to the examiner that you know the correct starting procedure so that you can move off safely. He'll also want to see that you can stop and steer the vehicle safely. The first part of the test is the yard test. This will take place at the testing centre in a specially marked area away from other vehicles. But before you go anywhere, you'll have to do an exterior and an interior inspection of the vehicle. The exterior inspection involves you walking around the outside of the vehicle with the examiner and demonstrating to him or her that everything's okay with the outside of the vehicle. So this will involve things like checking the mirrors, the tyres, and making sure that nothing's sticking out below the vehicle, things like that. Then you'll have to do a similar thing inside the vehicle. You'll have to demonstrate to the examiner that everything's okay with the inside of the vehicle. During the test, the examiner wants to know that you can actually drive properly. So he's going to look out for things like when you stop, that you stop safely, apply the handbrake and then go into neutral. He wants to check that when you indicate, that you first observe 360 degrees around the vehicle and then clearly indicate your intention. And then he also wants to see that you can move off smoothly and that you have good control of the clutch and the gears. Then you'll have to do the maneuvers. First you have alley docking. Alley docking is reversing into a space, or maybe you'll have to reverse around a corner. Then you have the dreaded parallel parking. Parallel parking in a busy city where you've got tight spaces, it can be tricky. But in the actual test, you have quite a big area to reverse into, so it's really not as scary as you might think. You'll have to demonstrate turning in the road, and then you'll have to do the incline start. An incline start is where you're stopped on a hill, and you have to move off smoothly without rolling back at all. If you roll back, you will fail. The second part of the test is the road test. This is the part where they actually let you go out on a real road with other vehicles and see how you get on. You'll need to know the rules of the road, traffic signs and road markings, as failure to obey these will result in an automatic failure. We highly recommend going to getyourlearners.co.za to refresh yourself on these before the real test. During the road test, the examiner will check many things. For example, that you know how to start the vehicle correctly, that you can move off safely and smoothly. He'll check you've got good control of the steering of the vehicle, that you know how to use the clutch and change gear smoothly. He'll check you signal correctly and also test your knowledge of hand signals. So again, go to getyourlearners.co.za to refresh yourself on hand signals. He'll check how you handle lane changing, how you handle overtaking, how you handle intersections, that you've got good control of the speed of the vehicle, and that you've got good control of stopping the vehicle. You'll need to do an emergency stop at some point during the test. You'll also be taken onto a freeway to see how you handle freeways. Just remember that hundreds of people pass their driving test every day, so it's really not that scary or daunting if you take the right steps. For example, going to getyourlearners.co.za to make sure you know all the rules of the road and that you can pass your learner's test easily, and then going to getyourdrivers.co.za to make sure you know all about actual driving process and the test, and to find an instructor. I'm sure you'll be driving in no time, so good luck.